Good morning, everyone. It's early morning here. Thought this was a nice time to make a little video, a tour of the backyard. It's currently July 1st. Happy Canada Day if you're Canadian. And anyway, yeah. So this is my one banana. I grew this, or an enset. I don't know how to actually say it. I know how to spell it, but I grew this. It was only about a foot tall. It's still rather small, but it's coming along. I love how these grow because they put out a new leaf, and inside the new leaf you can see a new leaf unfolding. So you never really have to wait long for new growth. So don't mind this clutter. It's my little experimentation section beside my lounge chair. I could sit here and lounge in the sun and watch everything grow. I've got a few agaves that I brought outside that I started from seed last year. They're looking a little worse for wear. They've gotten a little bit of sunburn, but that's alright. They'll grow out of it. Once they get used to this sun, new leaves will take their place, and you'll never know. This is my Indian banyan. It's going to be used in my bonsai project. I thought I would let it grow out. It's been growing phenomenally outside here. The leaves are a good size. I hope that they get a little bit smaller when I start bonsaiing it, because if I'm going to have this bonsai look correct, either it's going to have to be 4 or 5 feet tall, or or I'm in trouble. Anyway. As you can see here, I have some amaryllis growing. I'm working on growing these out. I'll soon have an update video on them solely as it gets time to put them into dormancy. But as you can see, they're growing wonderfully. Sorry. I've got babies growing under here, and another baby off to this side. So maybe those babies will flower this next year. I think that this is their second or third year. They're looking pretty strong. And I've also gotten some amaryllis from friends that didn't know what to do with them. So I told them I'll take them, don't throw them out, and we'll see how they go. I don't know what all the varieties are. Here's my Venus flytrap. It's looking a little worse for wear. I brought it outside. It was under my grow lights. I don't think it was getting enough sun. Then I brought it outside, and it seems to be getting a little bit of burn. So the new growth, as you can see here, is coming out, and hopefully it will take over and look beautiful. It's not looking too bad. When the leaves are nice, where they're nice, they're really nice. But we'll see how it goes. Again, I've always had a habit of killing these, so it's a learning process. And hopefully it will continue to grow. I'm letting it dry down just a little bit. It's been soggy, so maybe that's an issue. I hear from some people to keep them constantly moist, but some people say don't keep them wet. So we'll try this out as an experiment. Okay. So as you can see over here, my planters are coming along. You guys joined me for the planting of these. They're quite full. This papaya is growing phenomenally. It's started just taking off as the heat started coming from summer. Once it started hitting 30 degrees Celsius through the day, it really started taking off. Oh, my shadow's in the way. Sorry about that. All of the petunias are really taking off. I've been trying to prune them back. I don't want them to take over the whole basket. My goal is to have them flow down the sides. They've just recently started to fall over because they've gotten a little bit big. So that's kind of what I wanted. And at this point, like I said, I'm just going to start trimming them back and let them bush out. Here's some more agaves that I started from seed. I don't know varieties because they were from seed, so it was a mixed ball of craziness. I like this one because it has that variegation down the center of the leaf. If anybody knows any varieties, any variety names, please send them through. I'd really like to know. This one here looks like think it's agave americana, just the regular blue agave, but I could be wrong. My hibiscus is not looking too bad. Oh, I'm in the sun again. It needs to be watered every day. I've been lazy a couple of days and not watered it, and it starts to look a little sad. So I'll try to keep up with the watering. Sometimes now it needs 2 days worth of watered twice a day. I might also need to repot it. This is the second or third year it's been in this pot, so it's probably just pot bound, and that's what's making it dry out a lot faster. And another agave. Again, I started these in the spring, and they're already quite large. This one is really looking good. As you can see, my hand is here, and just in 1 year it's got growth that's about 8 inches long. Here's a planter I just recently acquired. I bought this at the grocery store for $10. I thought for $10 you can't buy the plants for that, so I'll end up breaking it apart as it gets a little bit overgrown. But I got a little bromeliad in here. I got some begonias, some annuals, some balloon flowers, which are looking lovely. I love this opening stage where they look like a hot air balloon. Really cool. Another type of begonia. I think that's a type of eyelash begonia because of the lashes at the end of the leaves here. Caladium, some asparagus fern. It looks really nice. I couldn't pass that up for $10. Those of you who have me on Facebook will see the photo that I have of an alocasia. This is a child from that plant. It's quite small at the moment, but give it time. It will get huge leaves and kind of take over. So I'm excited to grow this one again. One of my friends has looked after it for a number of years, and this is a baby from that plant, because I really can't have something that's that big growing through my house in the winter. So, but anyway, this is it. I call it Peanut because it was absolutely huge, and it's an elephant ear, so I thought Peanut was kind of appropriate. So now instead of calling it Alocasia macrorrhiza, I just call it Peanut. Okay, over here I have the other planter that we planted. It's, again, I always choose the right place to stand. We have the banana. Actually, the pot starts here, so the banana has really grown quite a bit. It's grown at least a foot, maybe a foot and a half since it's been planted in here. And that's only been in the last, I don't know, 2 months. We had some cooler temperatures, so during that time we really didn't get much growth, and there was a couple of leaves that I had to cut off because, not frost damage, but as you probably know, if you go below a certain temperature, you start to get the black spots on the leaves. I like this planter better than the other planter. I like the blues and purples mixed with the pinks, as you can see over here. And I love the osteospermums that are growing up here. It's a much nicer mix of colors, whereas the other one is just pretty well solely pink. Let's pan back here a little bit. As you can see, they've really filled out. I don't normally plant petunias, but they're doing okay. Here is the bonsai, the Boxwood bonsai that I'm working on for the bonsai project. Let's get a little bit of a close-up here. There is some new growth starting. That's quite exciting. Again, this is my first bonsai that I've been working on. It's my only bonsai so far. There's nice new growth in here, but I'm really liking the form of the tree. Let's hope that it continues to do well. Here's some other agaves that I started from seed. I don't know whether you can see them here because of the sun. A lot of them have been scorched, but again, I have so many agaves that I can't really house them all. So if they survive, they survive. I did plant some in the garden directly. They won't survive the winter here, so I'll dig them up and bring them inside. But when they get too big, if you have grown agave in the past, they get really firm and they can be quite dangerous. They don't bend, so once you can't really reach around them, they're either good to put on rollers, like in a pot on a thing with rollers so that you can roll it around your deck or around your house, or it's probably best just to get rid of it. These are my dates. They are starting to sprout, as you can see. I've got a couple with sprouts. We'll do an update video on these when they get a little bit bigger, but they're doing quite nice. Sorry for the moving around of the camera. The hydrangea is looking quite lovely. Finally it started to flower. These are my favorite type of hydrangea. These ones are lace cap, so it's going to have the large flowers around the outer edge, and then inside it's just going to have the small, relatively insignificant flowers. As you probably see, there's one here open by my finger. So they're looking quite nice. It's pink. I was hoping to get it to be a blue, but I didn't get to it in time. I could still put some aluminum sulfate on there and change the color of the ones that are still yet to open, which might be kind of neat, but I'm a little bit lazy, and perhaps next year we'll get to it. Pink is pretty. I'll live with that. It's also good if you want to change the color of your hydrangeas to use a pH meter. I do believe to get a nice vibrant blue color, the pH has to be around 5.5. Every hydrangea is a little bit different, so consult a manual before, or like a book before you try it out. Got some hostas, and my hellebore is looking nice. Hellebore is done. It's got its seed pods on there, but the flowers will hold in, well, almost indefinitely. They look very fake. More hostas. We just watered the grass this morning, so everything is so wet. This is my Thailand giant. It's been growing phenomenally since the weather has picked up. As you can see, my hand on this leaf is probably 2.5 feet wide, or sorry, 2.5 feet long, and probably about 2 feet wide. It's probably 12 inches from here to here, so it's at least 2 feet wide. It might even be 2.5 feet long. I used to think that the one at the back was a really large leaf, but as you can see, the leaf is almost double in size, the new one. And with each new leaf that comes out, it'll be that much bigger until they get up to their maximum size. So I'm very impressed by this plant. Also underneath here, you can see that it's been flowering. It has a beautiful white flower, kind of like a peace lily. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking here. Outstretched hands don't work very well with me. So yeah, they're faded now. I got 1, 2, 3. There's 6 flowers there. Looks like there might be a seed pod under there, so I might give that a try after it dries up. Just plant them and see if they grow. Some more hostas and some epimedium. Epimedium is a beautiful plant. I love how the new growth has a margin of red around it. Here's a nice example right here. There's a margin of red. They look pretty fake when you look at them, and they're wiry by texture, so they don't feel real. They feel like they're plastic. My European ginger over here is looking beautiful. I love how it has the glossy leaves. Let's give a look under here and see if there's any flowers. Nope, no flowers yet. Here's one of those baskets that I planted that had the holes in the side to plant the plants in. So far, I like it. I think it's an interesting pot. I think it's got a lot of possibilities. At first, I thought that the petunias would fill out a little bit better than they did. As you can see, they're growing up, so it should hide the pot. But they're not really doing what I wanted them to do. The season is still early, so we'll see how they fill in as time goes. We got some daylilies starting to come into bloom. They'll be flowering in the next week or two. I can't wait for that. Also, my Japanese maple is looking quite lovely, other than the fact that at the back looks like either something's been eating it or I don't know, something's going on back there. It's alright, everything else looks pretty healthy, so I don't really care. Animals need to eat too, all the bugs. Got a toad lily right here in the corner, or right behind the the Japanese maple. It's looking quite nice. It's one of my purchases end of season last year. I think I got it for $1, so can't go wrong with that. As we move across, this is the basket that I planted on the video. It's looking a little bit better than the other one. I like how the geraniums here are flowering. It's kind of a dainty flower as geraniums go, so it looks quite pretty. And I like to turn these baskets every so often to make sure that the light is evenly distributed. I don't want the stuff getting shaded in the back and dying out. As I told you when I made the video, begonias don't seem to grow very well for me, so I gave them a try. They're alive, but they're not really beautiful. Okay, so we have another type of elephant ear here. This is the taro, alocasia esculenta. I just decided to bring this up. I ended up cutting back my lavender that was here. The lavender that I had chosen, and I chose it on impulse, was a really large variety of lavender. I think the leaves were about 3 inches long, and it was very valuable real estate in my small yard, so I ended up cutting it right back. I think I cut it back to the point of death, which is okay. I was going to just rip it out, but I thought, hey, I'll see if it works, see if it comes back from hard trimming. But the way that it was growing, it kind of, when the flowers started, it started laying over, and it looked really messy. So I thought to myself, I don't want to look at that. I don't have a lot of space, so if it's not going to be beautiful, I don't want to look at it. And it almost took up almost a square meter of real estate in here. So you got to get rid of it if it doesn't work for the space. My little hardy geranium is looking quite nice. I love the pink flowers there. The ice plant is just about ready to open up for the day. I love how it closes up every night and then reopens every day. We've got some Tradescantia here. I do believe it's spiderwort. Quite a lovely color, the purple with the white. The only thing I don't like is they're like a morning glory. They come out in the morning, and when the sun hits them, they shrivel up. So if you have a nice cloudy day, they flower beautifully all day. But if you have a beautiful sunny day, they're gone by noon. This holly's looking quite nice. It's getting really full. Very excited about that. And as you've seen in one of my other videos, my clematis, it's looking quite nice. Flowers are starting to fade, but it will put out more. I do believe that the Jackmanii will flower until frost, so we'll see how it goes. There's not a lot of it there, but I'll have to take some more cuttings as time goes on, because the cuttings that I took got scorched, as you've seen on the video. My tree peony is looking nice. It actually, I'm wondering if anybody's a tree peony expert. The leaves are a little bit, well, they're not as bad anymore, but they were starting to get a little bit yellow. I don't know if that's normal for them. I'm not a peony or a tree peony expert by any means. It looks like the flower buds have dried up, and they're not going to open this year, but hopefully maybe next year I'll get flowers on this. I was very excited. I know peonies need to be in direct sun, and if they get shaded out as leaves come on the tree, they will abort the buds. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't get enough direct sun in this location. If you have any answers for me, I'd love to hear them. And here we go. There's my last plant in the backyard to see is the bloomerang lilac. Like I said earlier, it's July 1st, and it's starting to put up more flowers. And from what I hear, they will flower up until frost. So they'll keep on putting out. After they flower, they'll branch out and then do more buds. So we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you posted. It's my first year growing this, or sorry, second year. I bought it last spring. So it's doing quite well. And I ended up buying a smaller one. They're very expensive if you buy them a little bit bigger. And I think I bought like a 1-gallon pot. And I was thinking it would take a long time to grow, because I think it said that it grows to about 4 to 6 feet tall. And if it grows to 4 to 6 feet tall, I don't know what they're thinking, because in 1 year it got to 4 feet tall. So we'll see how this grows. I have some. This is my voodoo lily that I had showed you the flowers earlier in the year, and I'll show you why I call it the giraffe plant. As you can see, the markings on the stem, it kind of resembles a giraffe, the neck of a giraffe, as you can see in there. So I've renamed it giraffe plant for that reason. The leaves are starting to open up. I'll have another update video and you'll see the leaves fully outstretched. It's remarkable how much it looks like a bird's wings out to the side. Quite lovely. So anyway, that's my update of my backyard. It was pretty long and drawn out for such a small space, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'd like to see some updates of your gardens. How are they all growing? Do you have anything special that maybe nobody else grows, or is doing exceptionally well for you that hasn't in the past? Some surprises, perhaps? Anyway, happy growing, everyone, and see you next time.